That's just a small sample of a contentious meeting tonight as project leaders address community concerns over a proposed transitional housing complex planned for the West Valley. Good evening, everyone. I'm Jim Snyder. Marie has the night off. Campus for Hope was approved in the 2023 legislature, so it's been in the works for a couple of years. The state agreeing to pay half of the $200 million cost for the project. That will also be funded privately by resorts. News 3's Tiffany Lane was at a community meeting tonight where some of those people living in the area showed up to say they don't want this campus in their neighborhood.
A Gym Campus for Hope is meant to be for a few months so that people can get into permanent housing. The campus will have 900 beds. There will also be resources like childcare and job placement. But some in the area believe it will bring more problems than solutions and want it to be built somewhere else.
It's going to act as a magnet for all of them to come here.
One by one, dozens of community members speaking out against the proposed Campus for Hope transitional housing site. It's set to open summer of 2027 near Charleston and Jones, where there's currently the Adult Mental Health Center on state-owned land.
Why was this money not allocated to affordable housing?
I want to know what's really going on, and the transparency has been totally absent here.
Matthew Wombolt also believes the public should have more information.
Why is this the best location? Have they done their full due diligence? They said they've done some reports, but it was about a 2-week period. I've never seen an urban impact development study done in 2 weeks' time or an environmental impact study.
Project leaders say Campus for Hope aims at getting homeless people back on their feet. But this local teacher is worried the impact the site will have on local schools.
Did you take into consideration the 14 early childhood, preschool, daycare, public schools that are not just CCSD, but the charter schools that are within a 1 to 1.5 to 2 mile radius?
Some also spoke about crime rising and fears of encampments forming around the site. President Kim Jefferies says safety plans are already being considered.
The campus will have 24/7, 365 security on staff. So we will have our own security force on staff that we control, and we can make sure are doing what we need to keep the campus safe. We'll use it in the physical design, so fencing, lighting, access control, those kinds of things to ensure physical safety.
She says they will also work with Metro Police and potentially hire off-duty officers. Sheriff Kevin McMahill, who came to address the crime-related concerns, says projects like Campus for Hope work.
The vast majority of the burglaries that are happening in your community are happening because of unhoused individuals. This is a real, and I understand exactly where you all are coming from, but when I see that as transformational for us to really help these people with the wraparound services that I know work.
Use the Hope for Prisoners project as an example.
Here we have police officers work as returning offenders and provide wraparound services to every one of those individuals. 96% of those people never go back to prison again.
And amongst the many opponents of the campus, there was one community member who spoke in favor.
In 2018, me and my wife lived at the homeless courtyard in 2018. But today I have an apartment, and I didn't get no help from anybody to get it. I went to work on my own. So when you talk about the homeless sector, it's not just drugs and alcohol.
Wombolt says legal action is not off the table if the time comes.
It seems like that might be the only course of action for us to really get these questions answered, unfortunately.
Now, Campus for Hope's president says all residents will need a referral to be able to stay there. She says there will be background checks, no weapons or drugs, and possibly breathalyzer or drug tests as well. For a full sit-down interview with her on the project, head to our website, news3lv.com. Jim.
All right, Tiffany, thank you for that. And Las Vegas Mayor Pro-Tem Knudsen was one of the main presenters at tonight's meeting answering questions there. He had a similar event recently to give people a voice, and he says the goal is to take concerns into consideration when constructing this campus.
It hasn't been built yet. Our job is to listen, and if they have ideas or suggestions that we can improve upon, I'm open ears. I know the folks that are responsible for building it, and I know other elected officials are anxious to hear how we can be the best community we can be.